earlier, he's 26 years old, and hopefully it's not significant, and he can bounce back, get some treatment, and be right back in there, ready to fight for his team. But, definitely a disappointing moment, obviously in a situation where they could have taken a 3-1 lead. But, don't take anything away from Nate McMillan and those Atlanta Hawks. Without their star, Trae Young, they gave their best performance of the year. And it wasn't a game where somebody came out and played extra hard. I mean, Lou Williams had a great start, 5 for 5 to start out. But, collectively as a group, they were the much more aggressive team. And you can tell they were desperate. And they came out and got a much-needed win tonight.
No question about it. You talk about collectively, they had 6 players in double figures. Talking about the Hawks, the rebounding battle was even in this one. If you go back and look, whoever's won the rebounding battle so far in this series has won the game, but they were competitive there. They also won the assist battle. They were +7 in that department. Just looking at what they did collectively, how impressed were you with how they responded in Game 4?
Well, I think we were expecting them to come out and fight. And give great effort. And the irony of this game, and the Bucks are just battle tested. This one's gonna sting if you're a Milwaukee Bucks player, fan, coach, because they did not come out competitively. I was shocked at how just blasé they were. They just were lax. And really what happened was they played so poorly that it gave Atlanta confidence. It allowed Atlanta to feel like, we can win this game, because they never really made a stand. They never came out and showed that they wanted to game. And that, honestly, that was probably the most disappointing performance I've seen this entire postseason.
So, obviously, the question that I have to ask now, who does that fall more on? Does that fall more on the players, or does it fall on the coaching staff?
Oh, that's the players, without a doubt. Because in a playoff series, you've played 3 games. You're in a conference final. This ain't about a motivational speech. This ain't about an X and O. They're not doing anything we're not prepared for. We just played them 3 times in the last 6 days, 7 days, right? This is purely on the players. Completely 100%. I don't know if you feel that way, Jet, but to me, this is all. And Budenholzer has had critics, and deservedly so, for things in the past, but this is completely 100% on the players and their approach and the way they perform.
Yeah, definitely on the players, but at some point, the way they started the game, offensively, there was no rhyme or reason to what they were trying to do out there. They turned the ball over. They didn't attack the paint, which has been the biggest part of their game throughout while they're having success. So at some point, does the staff step in and look, timeout. Look, guys, we got to focus. Focus in on the task at hand, and let's get back to doing what's made us successful. But again, like D.A. said, the coaches can't shoot the ball for you. They can't play defense for you. And from an inner team, you got to find somebody in that locker room that has to step up and take ownership. But, it's a series. It's 2-2. You'll go back home now. Whatever the situation is with Giannis, you'll figure that out in the next 24 hours. And you'll have to come ready to play. It's not just going to happen. This is the Eastern Conference Finals. Both teams are good. They've gotten to this point. And so, man, you've definitely woken up a beast, though. You've given the Atlanta Hawks confidence, and they've beaten you on your home court before. So they'll be pumped up. It's a series now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Home court has been taken back by the Atlanta Hawks right now. We know at the beginning of the game, the big talk was about Trae Young, who would miss this game with that bone bruise on his ankle after stepping on the ref's foot in the previous game. Now, GA, looking at this series now, shifting to Game 5, looking ahead, we still don't know Trae Young's status. We obviously don't know Giannis' status yet. But what is the approach now for each team going into Game 5? And we know Game 5s are always very pivotal.
Well, I think if you're Nate McMillan with his young crew, what was great about the win was they didn't do anything special. That was the positive. You didn't have an out-of-body experience. You didn't have somebody do something that they're not capable of. Because, Bogdanovich started to make threes, but he was 7 of 19. He didn't wow you. Kevin Huerter was just 7. He didn't shoot it great, other than Lou in terms of his field goal percentage. And then Capella, he's just shooting layups. They didn't wow you. Cam Reddish was terrific off the bench. But when I say that, it's not a knock on Atlanta. Like, and actually it's a compliment to say that they won this way in a dominant fashion, I should say, when nothing special happened. Normally, when you beat a team by 22 in a conference final, one or two things happen. You had a special game on your end, or they laid an egg. And that's my point. So they laid an egg. So if I'm Nate McMillan, potentially we get Trae back. Potentially they don't have Giannis. Now you're going to literally have the same role that you just saw with Milwaukee. So you get to learn from their experience of not bringing the effort and the energy, because you don't know how Milwaukee will respond after this kind of performance. This puts a little bit of doubt in you. Now, this is where, from a coaching standpoint, Budenholzer is going to have his work cut out, because he's got to get his guys to regroup. There's a lot of anxiety in that locker room right now. And it's not just the game. One thing to have it with the game, but now you're also dealing with the uncertainty of your best player. And make no mistake about it, he is their best player. And not to have him potentially, that can be unnerving.
And I just want to focus the light on the positive, though, for the Atlanta Hawks. Yeah. You look at Lemon Pepper Lou, 34 years old. Listen, hey, his game is magic in the city of Atlanta. I think you know exactly what I'm talking. Runway, what is Lou Williams feeling right now after this game?
Well, Lou's feeling very confident. Obviously, they found a plan of attack. It's very similar to what Trae Young was doing. You put Brook Lopez in the pick and roll. He's in a deep drop coverage, and now you can survey the floor, get your mid-range jumper off, which we know Sweet Lou has killed people over his career with. And then if he gets behind the defense, he can throw the lob to Capella. So
there it is. Jet Terry breaking it down. Now we'll send it to his former head coach, Coach Budenholzer.
Yeah, so that's it. That's yeah, you know, he's in the locker room with the guys and just address the group, and you know, but nothing, you know, above and beyond, or you know, we'll see how he is tomorrow.
I guess along those lines, there's time to take as he comes off, and then sub, and you have to do the timeout to try to regroup as a coach. They go on 15-0 after that. Just what did you sense then? How did it's obvious how momentum changed, but what did you see, I guess, with your team and then the way the Hawks responded?
Yeah, you know, I mean, they had a lot of guys play well tonight, you know, for really the whole game. So, you know, credit to Atlanta. They played well from the start. They played well coming off the injury. You know, so we got to be better on both ends. You know, our group will gather. Our group, the character of it will come through. And we're going home. It's 2-2. We're going back to Milwaukee. No, not that I'm aware of. I mean, you know, I think we made some headway to start the third quarter. And so, you know, I think the guys were good coming out of the locker room. But, you know, overall, I think whether it was, you know, before the injury, after the injury, you know, credit to Atlanta how they played tonight. And so we got to be better for the whole game. No, I mean, I think, you know, he just the lob to Capella, and you know, I think he went to contest the lob, and just live, it looked like their legs got tangled up, or you know, they both landed awkwardly, and that's what I saw live. I haven't seen anything else. Yeah, no, I mean, it's, you know, we'll take everything as it comes. We'll evaluate it, and we've got a heck of a team, a heck of a roster. The guys will be ready to compete and play. You know, that's what it's about. And so, you know, we got a game 5. We'll watch the film, we'll prepare, we'll get ready. The guys love competing, they love playing. That's what it's all about. Yeah, no, I mean, they've both played well. I think they're both great players. So, we'll figure out, how we can help them, and they help themselves a little bit. So I think it's something to look at and work to improve on going into Game 5. Yeah, at halftime, we felt like we could come out and just do it possession by possession, get some stops, just manage the game from half going forward. And, we did have a good start to the third quarter. We got to do it from the beginning and, gather and, call on our character to get ready and play Game 5. Yeah, they're competing, trying to play a game. Obviously Giannis is their, big part of, our soul and our fiber. And I'm sure there's the human element where, the concern and care for him is real. But, they're in the heat of the battle. They're playing, they're competing, they're trying to get stops, trying to get rebounds, trying to do things, trying to find a way to be there for him while he's not able to be on the court. And I'm sure that's what they'll do. I think, we'll look at it and we'll feel like we could have been better to start with. But at the end of the first quarter, I think it was 25-22, So again, we didn't start well in Game 3, here, and had a similar start tonight. But I think to manage it and get to 25-22 at the end of the quarter. But then, second quarter kind of got away from us again. So we can't, we got to do it for the 48, all the little winning things that go into it on both ends of the court. So we got to work on that. Yeah, I don't want to speak for him. I know just historically it's impossible to keep him off the court. It's impossible to keep him away from his teammates, keep him away from his team. So my guess is he, probably wants to play and trying to play. And if not, let his teammates know that he's there for them.
Games dating back to the regular season back in February. They get a win tonight behind head coach Nate McMillan. Let's take a listen.
I just respect this team and their approach all season long. As I mentioned at the beginning, we've had this situation where we've had a lot of guys out, and our guys continue to step up, next man up, and play solid game, play solid basketball. Lou did an excellent job for us tonight, just running the team, establishing the tempo. We got great ball movement tonight. All the things that we talked about, we needed. We got that tonight, and it started with our guards. I thought Bogey, found his rhythm tonight, knocking down some shots. Kevin was really good again. It was a total team effort, and guys continue to step in and take advantage of opportunities when they get them.
One more real quick. Do you have any kind of update on Clint?
No, I don't.
Okay, Joe Barden.
So obviously Trae couldn't go tonight, and it sounds like he's not feeling well on that. What do you think for him for Game 5?
I don't know. It was the report was just tonight he's out. He didn't feel comfortable enough to, put pressure on his foot tonight. So I'll get a report tomorrow, and I'm sure it'll be a game time decision.
So this is going to sound like I'm trying to blame this on Trae, and I'm not. But the ball, you mentioned already, the ball really was moving more tonight than it has in the series. What was the discussion coming into this game about moving it, and did it have to do did the ball movement have anything to do with, I guess, trying to compensate for Trae being out?
Well, we play a different style of basketball. Trae does a great job of initiating offense for us when he's in the game. When we go to our second unit, we have to play a different style of basketball. And that's been good for us. Tonight, without Trae, we had to do some different things. We got some good ball movement, and our guys were able to make them defend. We did a good job of taking care of the basketball. Only 11 turnovers. Tonight they scored only 4 points off of our turnovers. I didn't think that we had too many possessions where we settled. We made them play from side to side, got good ball movement, really established a rhythm and was able to knock down some shots. And with that, we was able to keep our floor balanced so that we could get back in transition.
Then with Lou, was there anything that you had to do to kind of lessen the blow on him when he was traded here?
No. Basically, I talked to Lou. I knew what Lou would bring, and we all did. We knew that his ability to score and come off the bench and be productive. Basically, I talked to him about the role that Rondo was playing when he came here, and that was a role of mentoring Trae. And he understood that role. He accepted that role. He knew that, Trae is the future of this organization. He's coming in to back him up, and he's done a great job of mentoring Trae, talking about, different situations, how to manage a game, different things that he can do. His minutes was really cut coming here. He was a 20-plus minute guy, and he only has about 15, 10 to 15 minutes behind Trae. So he really sacrificed that role to help this team, and he's done a great job for us.
Sherrod Blakely.
Coach, when Giannis went out, you guys were up by 10, and often when the best player on the opposing team goes out there, sometimes teams take a deep breath and kind of relax, but you guys did. You guys were actually able to just continue to forge ahead and increasingly speak to what your team allows them to be able to do that and do it relatively consistently, not kind of completely throw out the gas.
Right. Yeah, but we condition ourselves to play that way. That's still a good team. They are a really good team. Still have really solid players, Drew and Middleton and Lopez, Pat, all of those guys over there. I mean, that's a good team. So no, there was no way we were going to relax. We knew we had to put together a 48-minute game. And I thought our guys did a good job of really just keeping the pressure on defensively. We were forcing misses and was able to get out into transition because of the good ball movement. We got into a rhythm. Offensively, was knocking down shots and was able to stretch that lead, at that time. And those are things that you want to do when something like that happens. You want to try to take advantage of that. And I thought our guys, stayed focused on what we needed to do, and they executed well.
Are there one or two, just one more quick follow-up, are there one or two things that allow players to make that pivot when their role changes? Like when Trae's out, everyone's role is modified somewhat. What's the key to guys
having the mindset to be successful in these different roles?
Well, we talk about, first I want to give credit to my coaching staff because a lot of times, these guys who are stepping in like Cam, Cam came in tonight and had a solid night for us, a really good night. Those were important minutes. We were going to give him minutes tonight, even if Trae played. But without Trae and that, losing that body, his minutes became even more important. But our coaches do a great job of keeping these guys ready, working them, conditioning them to be ready to play if their name is called. And once again, we've just had guys when they've gotten that opportunity, they've taken advantage of it. Lou, is an experienced guard. Really, he understood what he needed to do. He understood the moment that was in front of him, and he did a good job of really leading this team, establishing the tempo of the game tonight.
Tim Bontemps.
Sort of along the same lines. You said before the game you didn't want your guys to try to do more than what they normally do, right? Trae Young. Did you think that overall you guys were able to do that?
I thought everybody stayed in their lane. They played their game, and they played connected basketball. We often talk about it really doesn't make a difference who is out on the floor, what five is out on the floor. We need to be connected on both ends of the floor. I thought our defense was much better tonight, guarding the ball, keeping the ball out of the paint. We still need to do a better job of rebounding. They were pounding us on the boards. Offensively, we were connected where we had good ball movement. We weren't turning the ball over. Shot selection was really good, and we was able to get our defense back and set our defense. So just, we talk about our 3 C's, being calm. I thought we showed that all night long, being clear about what we needed to do and being connected on both ends of the floor, and they did that for 48 minutes.
Minutes, PJ Tucker at the podium.
It's not good. Anytime you see your best player go down, it's not great, but it's an opportunity for somebody else and everybody else to step up. It's the Eastern Conference Finals. There's no excuses. It doesn't matter. Whoever's playing, who's not playing, they got guys out. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's banged up. Everybody has injuries. You got to fight through it and win. Yeah, it's not good. Obviously, the same thing. It's not good losing anybody on your team. You lose your best player, it stinks. But we didn't come out with energy tonight. We thought we were just going to walk in and win the game. We didn't do anything to be able to show that we wanted to win this game tonight. We were flat, and our Giannis injury was just another piece of the puzzle of us losing. We still gonna win. This isn't how this series is gonna go. This can't be how. I got it. That's all that's going through my mind. No matter who's playing, no matter who's not playing, that's not how it's going. We're too good of a team. We work too hard to get to this point. To come out and be flat like that and not give the energy, effort to be able to win this game. It's a very winnable game, even when we got down early. Still a winnable game for us not to be able to turn it on and be able to get over that hump, to be able to give ourselves a chance to win this game is disappointing, and it can't happen. What's the mindset? it's the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, there's no, like, if you ain't got the mindset to want to win right now, then you probably need another job. Same for you.
But is there something to lean on there, I guess, as you guys kind of calibrate or changes need to be made?
Changes need to be made. Coaches will make them. They'll do what they need to do. As players, we just look at each other, and whoever we got out there, that's who we rolling with, and we're going to go out and fight. Like, to me, all the other stuff goes out the window. It comes down to being able to go out and give the effort. Every play, lay it on the line, and go after and take it, because tonight that's what Atlanta did. They took it.
That's right, Atlanta took it, the victory in Game 4. Lemon Pepper Lou at the podium.
How do you and some of the other guards, Bogey, Kevin, how do you guys adjust to not being out there for you guys?
It's not a big adjustment. You just know your minutes is going to go up. The time of the games is going to be different. Other than that, you just get ready to play a basketball game. We got to be pros, and I know it's cliche to hear, but when a guy goes down, another guy got to step up. And so, Coach told me that I was gonna start in this place about an hour before the game. So it was just for me. It was just just to lock in and know I was gonna play more minutes than usual.
I know you and Onyeka are close and have a close relationship. What has it been like to watch him kind of blossom on the biggest stage in the playoffs?
It feels good. It feels good just to learn him, grow with him, and he's a young cat, and for him to look to me for guidance and questions during games and even off the floor, it's a nice bond to have. I didn't know before I got here, so to make a friend in him and be a part of his process, it feels good.
Jeff, still good? You gonna say that?
Lou, I understand you guys are professionals, but can you walk me through sort of the mentality that you and the team has to have when someone like Trae, is not going to play, and what prevents you from having the mentality that, man, this is going to be a rough night without a basketball?
I mean, we pros too. We know how to play basketball as well. You know what I mean? I think that's the difference between between the guys in the locker room and everybody else. When Trae goes down, we still feel like we're confident in our abilities as players as well. Obviously, Trae is a major part of what we do. But we feel really good about the things that we bring to the table, and sometimes you got to band together and create success. And I think tonight was one of those nights where everybody played well, everybody chipped in a little more than usual, including myself, and we bridged that gap that Trae brings.
I know it was, you guys got off to a really good start. From that point when it was 10-2, did you realize that you'd be able to play like that the whole night, and you were doing things that was slowing them down even before Giannis?
No, it's a long game. It's a long game, and we've gotten off to a couple quick starts against this team, and they've walked us down a couple of times, so we don't really get full of that. We understand it's a 48-minute game, and so we just had to stay steady. I thought tonight we just played a steady 48-minute game. We were solid on both ends of the floor. This week in practice, we made great adjustments with the things that they do on the offensive end, and it was working for us.
Tim Bontemps.
It was only a couple of months ago you got Trae here, and there was at least some thought in your mind, I think, to not playing at least at the deadline when you might end up getting traded somewhere else. Part of the reason you wanted to come and be with the Hawks is that was there any part of your mind that thought there'd be a moment like this down the road in the playoffs?
Honestly, no. I'll be frank. I wasn't sure. This wasn't a team that I was really paying attention to. In the Western Conference, me playing with the Clippers, we were on a hunt for a championship run, and so, my focus was solely on that. And once I had an opportunity to get around these guys, get around the organization, get a good feel for what was going on around here, I felt like there could be great potential there. But one thing that's been steady since I've been here. This team has always been confident in their abilities, and that showed throughout the playoffs. And so we're enjoying the ride. We feel like we deserve to be here. We've earned the right to be here, and at the same time, we're enjoying it. So, did I look ahead and say, we can be a championship contender day one? I probably not. But we're 2 wins away like everybody else, and we feel good about it.
At the same time, this is the first time I think you've played in the conference finals in your career. You've been through
Sure.
a long time. How do you feel
I hadn't been able to, come to grips with I hadn't been able to enjoy the moment. I'm stuck in it. I'm in it. I'm enjoying it, and you ride this thing until the wheels fall off, and then it'll be one of those things where you kind of look back, and you can say what you did or what you didn't do. But I'm happy to be in the moment right now. It's 2-2 going to Milwaukee tomorrow, so it feels good so far.
All right, Sherrod?
Lou, when Giannis went out, you guys were up by 10, and like less than 3 minutes, you guys had doubled it. When you are in that moment where a key player in the team goes down, just almost human nature kind of ease up a little bit, but you guys did just the opposite. You ratcheted things up. What's the key to this team being able to do that? Particularly, as you pointed out, a lot of you, this is kind of the first time you've been in this moment, this deep into the playoffs, and yet you guys don't really seem to be bothered.
Yeah, I mean, we were in the same position, with Trae being out tonight. Like I said, everybody has to throw something in the pot, and when superstar caliber guys go out, you put some other guys in the game, and their eyes are this wide, and they're like, this is a great opportunity for me to show and prove my abilities, and you don't want to be the guys that let them off the hook because Giannis was off of the floor. And I think we all felt that. We all felt that energy, and we just ratcheted up our energy and was continued to go.
All right, Joe Barton?
How long did it take you to get over the trade? And was there one, you were talking a little bit about like how it's kind of always been here with confidence among your teammates, but was there one thing that made you become
More comfortable?
Yeah.
Just accepted. I was just accepted. I was wanted. I didn't get the feeling that this was a trade that they just threw together for money reasons or whatever. I felt like I was going to be a part of the success here. And when I met with the guys in Phoenix, they were really warm to me, and really appreciated me being there as their teammate. And so, that feels good. That feels good. A warm welcome anywhere feels good. Going into a situation you're not very familiar with. And so I think that was one of the things I wanted to, give myself an opportunity to continue on my career and give these guys an opportunity to be teammates and try to do something special together.
And then you said that you haven't really been able to enjoy the moment because you're in it, but because of a few different circumstances, you're now in a position where you could lead your hometown team to a finals.
Sure.
Gosh, this late in your career to be able to do that after every place you've been, like, what's that mean?
It's kind of surreal. It's kind of surreal, and that's really all I can say about it, honestly. Like I said, it's day by day. I don't get too high, I don't get too low. Tonight will be one of those nights my phone is going crazy and everybody wants to talk, say something, and I'll respond to the appropriate people, and then I'll get ready for the next game. So.
Moving to Zoom, we will start with Chris Kirshner.
Hey Lou, since Nate's taken over, the messaging from him has been to believe and continue to, play together. When you do lose Trae before the game, what does he say to you guys to, get you guys to believe that you guys can win without him?
The message didn't change. Like I said, we're pros too, and I think it'd be an ill taste if a coach came in and started saying too much because Trae went out. I think we'll kind of look at him a little crazy. And so, Nate he's a veteran coach. He understands what moments like this mean to other guys that have an opportunity to go out on the floor and fill in and do their jobs. And that was the message. Continue to believe Trae is going to be out tonight, but continue to believe in your abilities and go out and get a win.
Yep, sure.
Lou, kind of along those lines, like you said, athletes are wired differently, obviously, from fans and media. So when you first heard, and guys in the locker room first heard that Trae was out, what goes through your mind? What's the initial reaction?
Honestly, I was on a training table. Nate walked up, said, Trae is going to be out, so I'm going to start you. And I said, okay, and he walked off. That was the conversation. It's not like a remember the Titans thing that happens in the locker room. I promise you, that was it. That was the extent of our conversation, and we got ready for the game.
Did you tell when you got out of the training room or you were around other guys at all? Was it, okay, let's just go out and play? I'm just curious what the general response is.
Yeah, it's game preparation. Everybody has their own routine and thing. It's actually a strange thing if you're in an NBA locker room before a game. Like nobody is talking to nobody. Everybody is in their own world trying to get themselves prepared for the game. And so that was it. The only other person I spoke to besides Nate was Trae. I just asked him was he all right, how he was feeling, and then I had to go out on the floor and get prepared. So that was it.
That's two more. Zach Klein.
Lou, playing 40 minutes from where you went to high school, what will you remember most about your first playoff start?
That I played well and we won. That's it, really. In situations like that, from a fan's perspective, I'm sure everybody's like, oh hell, Trae is out. And so, it kind of puts me in a position that I have to play well in order for everybody not to boo me. You know what I mean? And so it just feels good to get a win. Go back to Milwaukee 2-2 with a realistic opportunity to go to give yourself an opportunity to go play for a championship. So it feels good.
Final question from Terrell Thomas.
Lou, you've already been asked about Trae, his injury, and of course about you starting tonight, but you were very efficient on the floor. You were taking great shots and you were finding your teammates. I noticed that even when you had some open looks, you were finding a way to make sure that you got your teammates involved. What, if anything, changed in your preparation over the last 48 hours?
Nothing really. Like I said, I had an hour. Only thing I knew that was going to change, just from me being around, I knew my minutes was gonna go up, and I just wanted to be efficient. I wanted to take care of the basketball and make sure the guys that's been shooting 10, 15 shots a game got their shots and got them in rhythm, and that was it.
Thank you.
I just hope it wasn't that serious. Still don't know. That's about
now,
it.
maybe I'm tripping.
No, I actually forgot about that. I mean, if he's able to play, it'll be great. If it's not, we still got to be ready. Yeah, it wasn't there. 2 games in a row, we got off to a bad start. Last game, we was able to pull it out. This game, we were never able to get it going. They play hard. They play great tonight. They hit shots. Just got to do a better job of, getting those 50-50 balls. That was a big part of the game in the first half. Playing with, like you said, more urgency, getting after it more. They play hard. We got to play harder than them.
Chris, if I saw the replay right, you were looking pretty much straight at rookie Giannis contesting it. What did you see? And I guess maybe more importantly, what did you hear like Giannis give him a big yell like immediately after that?
Yeah, I saw him yell. I mean, I heard him yell. I was looking up, so I mean, I couldn't really see exactly what happened. Yeah.
For you guys to win this series, you need to win 2 more games. What in your mind is like the things that you guys need to do and can do to win this series?
I think the simplest thing to start off with is, playing harder. Those 50-50 balls, defending better. As far as X and O's, we just got to look at the film, go on our meeting tomorrow with Bud and see what we need to do.
For you, it felt like they were trying to be more aggressive on the ball against you. Reddish was being a lot more physical. How do you feel like you can do better with that going forward?
I think he did better in the second half a little bit. First half, I was, slow. That's part on me and everybody when we talk about your sense of urgency wasn't there in the first half. But it's not the first time I see something like that. I've seen a lot of defenses. We all have. We just got to be able to play through it.
For you, can you take me through the idea like you guys are 2 wins away from the finals? That's the closest you've ever been, saying this is the end of the year, and then you see how this go down. To me, that's the highest possible high you guys have experienced quite yet in the able to win this possible run. But how do you? It's a huge swing and a motion. How do you try to handle it just a human being?
1 game at a time. That's it. I'm not thinking about 2 wins away. Not thinking about the finals right now. Thinking about this loss right now, and then tomorrow moving on to Game 5. Yeah.
During this time, Giannis was time this year, and I think in a lot of those instances, you and Drew talk about not trying to do too much, just play with it. Can you lean on that a little bit and how you guys played as a team and had to kind of fill in roster-wise so even if Giannis can't go, there a little bit of that like we've been here before this season with these guys?
For sure. I mean, I think the front office, they put together a great team, a deep team. We already have Dante out, and Tuck has stepped in and played, a huge role for us. So now we'll see what happens with Giannis. It'll be great if he plays, but if he's not, we still have a capable team. We're going out there and winning. That's every year. Every year. You're hoping all your guys stay healthy. We've already had one guy go down for the season. Like I said, we don't know about Giannis, but I mean, it's part of the game. A lot of it is being healthy. Some of it is luck. And then the last part of it is being a great team. Not really. No, I can't. Not going to do it.
Coach said it's impossible to keep Giannis away from his teammates. He came back to the bench briefly in the third quarter, and Coach Bud said he talked to you guys about something after the game. What did he say? What was his demeanor like in this situation?
I don't understand your question. But
Your coach said that it's impossible to keep Giannis away from you guys as teammates when he went back to the locker room and came back to the bench briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any message for you guys when you came back? And then I guess after the game, the coach said he addressed you.
I might have missed that part. But I mean, I talked to him briefly. Positive to say, we dropped this one, got to go get the next one. Yeah, thanks.
Red Velvet had averaged 11 points coming into this one. He responds with 17 in the Game 4 victory.
Is that something that you guys obviously needed to prioritize, with you and Lou and also Bogey, just to make sure the ball stayed moving even with you off the floor?
Yeah, it was actually something, we kind of talked about briefly as players, just we didn't need anybody being a hero tonight. We knew who was out. Obviously, Trae's a big part of our team, but, the ball had to move. Everybody had to touch it. It was kind of going to be the strength of everybody that was going to win this game. And I think our first 10 points, I think all 5 guys on the court scored. And so when you set the tone like that, the first quarter, the ball was moving side to side. Even when we were missing shots, everybody was touching it. And that type of thing is contagious when everybody gets going like that. And it was great to see. Obviously, that's the way we got to play.
How good was it to see shots start to fall for Bogey tonight? And just what have you seen out of him the past, I guess, week or two as he goes through this stuff with his knee, but he's still fighting through it to give you guys the minutes you need from him, and then tonight to kind of have that pay off?
It's huge. Honestly, in a lot of ways it takes our team to another level. When he's on, when he's making shots, just the ability to score the ball, to make threes in big spots. It's something that we definitely missed for a couple of games, and he's feeling better. As each game gets going, and he's such a tough guy. We need him, and the boost from him tonight was great.
Now that you've been able to spend a couple months with him, what's it like to be around Lou?
It's funny, man. Lou's kind of always the same. It doesn't matter if he's scoring 21 tonight or if his minutes are down another game and he doesn't get much of an opportunity. He's kind of just even-keeled, steady Lou. Kind of a legend. His way about him. It's just funny. It's just someone you got to be around, like an OG type of feel. He's walking in here with his hat and his chains on, and his coming in here with, last game, I don't know how many minutes he got. He comes in here, drops 21, like he's been playing 40 minutes all playoffs, and great guy to have around. Someone who's he's there when you need him, and when he's not, he's a great teammate.
Jeff, still good?
Sort of along those lines, Kevin, do you have any, because you've been in the league so long, do you sort of remember when you were a kid, like, do you have any recollections of like when Lou Williams first popped on your radar?
Yeah, I mean, obviously growing up watching him, I mean, I remember my rookie year defending him. Like he was coming off the bench for the Clippers. I was coming off the bench here, early on in my career with the Hawks, and I remember he was my matchup, and it was, I mean, he's tough to guard. It's like you can't put your hands on him. He knows how to draw fouls. He has that leaner left, and back then he had a little bit more explosiveness. So he was getting to the rim, and I remember it was just kind of like it was tough guarding this guy. And now he's great to have on our team, and I mean, this is something he's been doing for us. He's stepped up. He's kind of instant offense when you put him into the game for us, and he was huge tonight. We needed every point.
Tim? You mentioned that you guys had a conversation about the game, before the game, about not needing anybody to be a hero. And Nate said before the game that was kind of what his message was to everybody. He wanted you guys to kind of stick to what you do and not try to do too much. How do you avoid doing that, though, in a game like this when obviously everyone does want to try to pick up the slack for Trae being out? Like, how were you guys able to do it so successfully?
I mean, it starts off, you start the game and everyone touches the ball. The ball moves side to side. You want everybody to find a rhythm. We don't need people transition, pulling up from the logo, and offensively going one-on-one the way Trae can. It's really not anybody's game on this team, so we didn't need people to play like that. And that message was well received. Like I said, you start the game off, and all five guys score before they have to call a timeout. That really set the tone for the rest of the game, and it wasn't something that we got away from.
And how did you guys keep them out of the paint so successfully after they were able to get there a lot versus against the series?
Trying to be more physical. Clint did a great job one-on-one on Giannis, and trying to just throw different looks at him. He gets deep enough in the paint, trying to run another guy at him, and give him different looks, be more physical on the catch. It helps when they're taking the ball out of the rim. We're keeping them out of transition, and that was a lot better tonight. So a mix of everything, but their whole team, that's kind of a big strength of theirs, living in the paint. That's something we got to continue to try to limit.
What was tonight like for you, just kind of being able to find a shooting rhythm, obviously for the first time in months. Just what was tonight like, and how did it feel out there?
Again, felt a little bit weird at first, and then as it went on, it got better. I mean, I'm just not in game shape yet, but I mean, other than that, I felt good. I was happy to be back. I mean, Kev, the rest of my teammates were supporting me nonstop throughout the game, so it felt great to be back.
That's kind of what I was getting at, is not being fully in game shape. I mean, it would be impossible for you to be fully in game shape, but just kind of what's the process of kind of climbing back to that? Is it more gradual, or do you just kind of figure it out as you go?
I mean, obviously, it's definitely a process, but just playing, just getting back to playing more. I mean, ain't no suicides and nothing going compared to a game, so I just think it's getting back into the swing of things, playing-wise.
All right, Jelani, can you take it over?
Sure. First question on Zoom from Chris Kirshner.
Hey Cam, the other day you said that you were trusting the process, that your time will come eventually. How do you keep that mindset to be a positive one, to be ready to play valuable minutes in tonight's game?
I mean, I just didn't put too much pressure on myself tonight. Just going out there and just contributing whatever it was going to be. I know I can get after it defensively. That's something I can control. So just trying to be a pest on defense, and then offensively just making the right play, and it worked out for me.
And then Kevin, for you, Nate, since he's taken over, has told you guys to believe that you guys can win, and believe that no matter who's out, you guys can win. When you see that Trae's out for the game, I mean, what is that messaging like, and what is the mindset like from everybody in that locker room?
Yeah, it was obviously it wasn't great news. It was news that we got right before the game. Prepared this morning like he was going to play, and right away I think guys knew they had to step up. Obviously, you insert Lou into the starting lineup, different guys going to get bigger opportunity. Obviously Cam and KD coming in today and giving great minutes. It's like we said a couple questions ago, we didn't need anybody to be the hero. We needed people to come in and just play their game, just play really well, played at a high level, staying together. It's something we've done all year. Guys filling in and playing to their strengths, and it was really kind of everybody tonight. Defensively set the tone, offensively everybody touched it.
McLean back to sleep.
Cam, 2 years ago, in a couple of days, you'll have just signed your first. 2 years ago, you signed your first professional contract. What have the 2 years been like since then? You played a full season last year, and then injured for 4 months this year. And now you're 2 wins away from a NBA Finals appearance. Can you just kind of describe the past 2 years for Cam Reddish?
A blessing, man. I'm happy to be here. Obviously, I've been through a few injuries. That's all part of the game. And, man, I'm just ecstatic to be back. That's all I can say.
And Kevin, who is Cam Reddish off the court? We see him on the court, obviously, but who is he in the locker room in the past 4 or 5 months? When we on the field or on the court.
I mean, Cam's a quiet guy. I think at first, once you get to know him, he's not so much, and he's someone I think right away. You know who's lifting when he's got his music going on in the weight room, especially the last 4 months doing all his rehab and doing all his treatment. He was one of those guys who was in the gym earlier than other people and playing his music and lifting and always got a smile on his face. So it's great to have him back. We can feel his presence on the court. Guys talking to him in previous series, waiting to get him back. Knew when he was getting healthier, just trying to help him out, give him confidence and stepping up. It's obviously great to have him.
I got to ask, what kind of music is he listening to in the gym?
A lot of Young Boy and a lot of people that I don't know, but a lot of Philly people, and at least I think, but a lot of Young Boy.
Young Boy for sure.
Yeah, did Clint Capella steal that shot over the backboard from you and Horst?
The craziest part is I had a feeling like when the clock was going down that somehow that was going to find a way in, and I guess that's how the night was going. But unbelievable shot. I love his reaction. Clint always has the funniest reactions and stuff. So that was a nice moment, especially at the end of the game.
Kevin Chenard.
This one's for Cam. Nate said a bunch of times in the last couple months that there really wasn't time for you to get 5-on-5 practices, and you're playing for a new coach really for the last time you played. How do you prepare yourself for this kind of live action?
It's a good question. I mean, really just staying in the gym, doing everything I possibly can to be ready, and then just believing in myself, having faith, and then trusting God. Once you do that, life's pretty simple.
Time for your winning performance fueled by Gatorade. Mr. Bogdanovich, we are talking to you games 1 through 3, not necessarily what you would want to see. However, in game 4, he came to score some more 20 points. I mean, his average had dropped every series. However, he is back on the right side of things after a victory in game 4. Now it is time.
Finally, yeah. Yeah.
I know you've kind of been dealing with some knee stuff. Are you feeling better, and did that lead you to your performance tonight?
As I said last time, you know me. I don't want to, make excuses. Tonight was a better night for me, and then knee doesn't hurt, or hurts less, or when I miss it hurts more. It's not about that. It's at this point everything is mental. Injuries are part of the game, and I don't want to talk about it. I'm happy that we win tonight, really.
How important was it for you, also Lou and Kevin as well, with Trae out? How important was it for you guys to? You still had 26 assists even without Trae. How much was that a priority to make sure the ball's still moving?
No, even with Trae, when we didn't know Trae is not going to play till later in the night. When we were watching the tape, the mistakes we made that third game, the last game, was we didn't move the ball enough. So we had that same game plan with Trae too, to move the ball, to make more drives and kicks, and to stick to the plan. And when we find out Trae was out, we had Louisville, who can definitely step up, and we were pretty confident with him.
I have one more quick one. I'm sure this performance from Lou didn't surprise you guys, but how just key was the way he led the way for you guys?
He's our vet, he's holding our locker room, and he's a true vet, true leader, and he's always been doing that. Every time we needed him, he was, there for us. all the time, the whole year, and we appreciate to have him, man, really.
Tim.
Bogdan, you guys, Kevin was in here before saying you guys sucked before the game and that the message was for nobody to be a hero. And Nate before the game said he wanted you guys to kind of stay in your lanes and do what you do. But when you have a guy like Trae out, how do you guys all stick to doing that when obviously everybody's initial instinct is going to be to try to do more to make up for a guy being out?
As I said, I think we didn't think about it, you know. Maybe if we knew this morning that Trae was out, maybe we would think more about it. But you know, he did a hell of a job, you know, holding it till the last moment. And yeah, he was doing all the work, you know, and we thought he gonna play. And right before the game, that last meeting, you know, we find out he's not playing. So we just stick to the game plan.
Yep.
Nothing new. We had that mentality during the whole year, you know, next man mentality. And we had Louisville that he played unbelievable, and you know, but it's not over yet, you know. I hope Trae recovers, and we need him in the next game.
How much does it help, though, like you said about having Lou, to have a guy that's always, like everybody always knows Lou is going to always be the same basically no matter what happens ever, right? Like in a situation like this where you have a guy like that who's been in a million games, stepping in the starting lineup, who already has kind of that even kill demeanor, how much does that help you guys kind of get settled down?
It gives us another level of confidence, for real. Like in the locker room, and to play with him, it's so easy. You know, to communicate with him, it's so easy. He been in the league so long, he's seen everything, you know, and he knows how to make a game easier for everyone, not just for himself. And it's fun to play with him.
All right, Jelani.
Mark Schwartz from ESPN, right here, brother.
Okay, now we're going virtual.
Yeah, to the Zoom.
Bogdan, that was such an interesting thing. I was actually going to ask you that about knowing that Trae was injured. If you knew about it all day long, tell me, you know, take me through that. How would that have been different for you than finding out, you know, 40 minutes before the game?
I don't know. I didn't be in that situation, man. Like, I don't know. I cannot, you know, I don't know. I've been in this situation, so I think it'll be a little bit more, you know, pressure probably, you know, on everybody, you know, knowing, you know, and thinking about it all day. You know, we need him. He's our guy, you know. So yeah, it's completely different level of pressure, you know. But I say he did pretty good job, you know, holding it to the last minute.
Please go.
Hey, Bogey, great game.
Thank you.
I would like to ask you, how needed for you was a 20-point game at this point of the season, mentally wise, and what was your feeling when you hear the fans said Hawks in 6?
I mean, I live for these moments, man, and I really appreciate every minute on the floor. You know, I know it's hard to get to this level of the basketball game. You know, it's hard to get to the playoffs. It's hard to get to the second round. It's hard to get to the finals. At this point, everything is hard. You know, and you know, and it's mental. All it's mental, and you just have to fight through it. And it's another level of experience. I just live for that, man. I enjoy every single moment, and you know, I know. I don't think, you know, about my game so much. I'm just finding the way that we can win, because I know my game will, you know, come eventually. As long as we play good as a team, you know, we have a lot of talent that, you know, any other guy can step up every other night. You know, we had tonight. I think Cam was that difference. You know, Cam Reddish, defensively, offensively. You know, he was. You know, you don't know how hard it is to don't play. You know, the whole year and just, you know, get in rotation in Eastern Conference Finals and knock down some big shots. Play like really great defensively. So, I mean, huge credit for him, and you know the strength and condition coaching stuff as well. You know, to keeping him ready, and coaches as well.
Jamila.
Hey, Bogey, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you about that shot that Clint made over the backboard, because it looked like you were in the corner looking for the pass. What was your reaction to that shot?
I mean, I couldn't believe it, as all of you guys, but I just talked with the Clint, man. We always talk about when you do some move like that you don't practice. We say, when you don't make it, we said, we have to work on it next summer, you know, to get better, you know, because that's a summer workout. So today, you know, he scored something that, you know, it's unbelievable. But it's fun. It's fun to see it, really.
Davide.
Hey, Bogey, congrats for the win and the game you play. I'm curious about how does your role change when Trae is not out there?
I mean, we play as a team. I've been more on a point guard position, you know, a little bit more than when Trae is in. But, you know, we're still trying to win the games at the end of the day. So that's what matters, you know. With Trae, with me, with whoever, you know, I think we always talk about that win, you know. So that's what all matters. You have to just accept the role, nothing else.
Let's go to Jonathan Simmons, who might have to come off mute to ask the question. And if you can't do it, we will move on to Leonardo Torres.
Hi, Boogie. It's Leonardo Torres from Peru. Congrats on the win and the big performance. Boogie, you made 6 3-pointers and finished with 20 points. What changed in your game to have those great numbers on offense?
Probably the tape. You know, we watched the tape this morning, and we saw a lot of like tough and contested shots we took the previous games. The last 2 we played when we lost, when they adjust defensively, you know, they start switching more. You know, now this game is over, you know, and we already have to think about next game, you know, and they're gonna come with another level of adjustments, and they are that caliber of the team, you know, and nothing counts right now previously.
Yes, indeed. Taking a look ahead at the schedule. Thursday, Game 5, the most pivotal of the series when the series is tied at 2 games apiece, 8:30 on TNT. Of course, your pregame coverage starts right here with Playoff Central Live. Can't wait for that one. Ro P, GA, and the Jets is on the runway back in the studio.
Real Jet.
Uh-oh, hold that thought for a second. Trae Young on the Twitter, sending thoughts and prayers to Giannis. Great to see the sportsmanship provided by Trae Young, who himself is out with an injury. We want to see both teams at full string. Hopefully we'll be able to see both superstars back in the lineup. Trae Young is a game-time decision for Game 5. We still don't know what the status is for Giannis. Keep it locked into NBA.com and the NBA app. And also, Clint Capella will be keeping an eye on that situation as well. No pun intended. He took the elbow to the eye late in the game. About to wrap things up here. Looking forward to Game 5. Jet Terry, coming to you. What's going to happen? Of course, we don't know who's going to be available, who's not, but just the mentality and mindset for the home team coming out in Game 5.
Exactly what you said. The mentality and mindset has to be a sense of urgency on both ends of the floor for the Milwaukee Bucks. The 2 best players for Milwaukee, Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday, have to come out and impose their will on the Atlanta Hawks.
Atlanta Hawks, though.
I'll be interested to see if they can match what they brought, because they did, to Jet's point, like they were physical, they were intense, they were active, and they're going to have that with or without Trae to have a chance. I do think that Budenholzer is going to make some adjustments. I don't know that Lopez plays as much, because it's one thing when Trae is torching you. right? Because you can live with a truly great player, and Lou is a great player as well. But in essence, to have their backup point guard have the same kind of success, that matchup, that scheme has not worked for them. They're going to have to figure out a way to change how they defend that pick and roll, because that's going to be important. Because you saw Atlanta start making threes, and that once Giannis went down, and that's going to be the great equalizer for them on the road. But I'm expecting to see a Bucks team that plays with passion. We did not see that from them tonight.
Yeah, using that big to drop on that pick and roll. It doesn't seem to work that well for the Bucks. That's just a non-player's perspective. I mean, I know you have a very
No,
good
you're
vantage
right.
point.
You're 100% right. Like, and that's the difference in our game today. Like, bigs, you didn't have to guard the pick and roll in our era. You didn't have, because that pick and roll, you only ran it to run a set to get to a different action. Right. Now it's the primary weapon. And so you cannot lay back in the paint when a guy, they make those mid-range shots like layups and those floaters. They're going to have to make some adjustments.
Make some adjustments. So, Jet Terry, looking at a major adjustment, we've seen Nate make so many different adjustments. We've seen how impressive they've been defensively. Just to counter what the Bucks are probably going to throw at them, what do you expect to see from Nate and company?
Well, consistent contributions from their bench. Cam Reddish, giving him more playing time. Obviously, Herter, is he a starter? Is he coming off the bench? And then Gallinari. Gallinari is a guy with tons of inexperience that can shoot from the outside, and he's a matchup problem for the Milwaukee Bucks. So if you can get some contributions from those guys in the bench, then they're going to put themselves in a position on the road to steal another one.
Bucks mentally tough enough to win this without Giannis?
Oh, absolutely. Chris Middleton's going to have a big game the next game.
Okay.
Win or lose, he's going to have a big game.
Hey, either way, I can't wait to see it.